brain sluice, slick with ectoplasmic juice. Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory. With genealogy, with spiritual topography. Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers.
Autistic Toaster says D's what? D's fucking nuts, baby. Episode 69.
Episode 69. 69 is so fine. Talking to the bud.
69. I had big dreams for 69, but when you've got 2 kids and a lot of shit going on, you just keep it real.
We say, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Say we'll keep it real.
Keep it real. What did you envision for 69?
I was going to that fucking mall that the roof is caving in, but it's still open. And there's a fucking restaurant called The Cotton Patch. Ooh.
That'll have to be episode 420.
Yeah. And then there's like a coffee shop in there. I just have to it's just fucking magical. It's a wasteland.
Put it on the calendario.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half away, but it's well worth the trip.
Hey, Lord.
Hey, Lord. Summit, are you outside?
Summit, are you outside? Magic Toaster.
Magic Toaster, are you inside?
Is there snow?
69.
69. We made it.
We made it. Touch.
We fucking made it. The Yamcast didn't make it to 69.
Ooh, they stopped?
We had, I remember big talks about episode 69, and then it never happened, and then we started at 1, and then it imploded.
And then we were all in a fiery plane crash.
We were all on a fiery plane crash. All right, Megan, I've been thinking about this the last couple days.
Let's go.
And you're going to have to help me because I don't know exactly what it's called. But
I am a wordsmith.
If I moved to Austin, I remember looking at jobs.
Okay.
And I applied to 1 million jobs because I had a James Beard restaurant underneath my belt. I was like ready to go.
Swinging a big dig.
I got one call back immediately. It was from South Congress Hotel. And I said, sure.
Let's fucking go.
No other interviews. Got the job right away. It's how I met you and Aaron.
Yep. What year was that?
2015. Okay. 2014.
Yeah. We didn't really meet until 2017. Would you say?
Yeah, you came in for a bluefin tuna breakdown. We used to break down a fucking 750-pound tuna from scratch, and we'd have like a big party. And I remember you coming in. Didn't you know Bjorn before you knew me?
Yeah,
as like an acquaintance.
He was adjacent, because I was at Eastside King, and he worked at Key, right? Mm-hmm. And so I knew him from Key because I washed dishes at Key a couple of times because they had really nice dishes that couldn't go through the dishwasher. So there was like a little lady named Magdalena who would do like the pots and everything in the dishwasher, and I was like washing dishes in the 3-part sink, and my only job was to not break any.
And by your laugh, you broke a lot.
I broke one. And I also met Andrew Nelson at that job too, because he was working on the line. I think he was pastry. And
Andrew Nelson was there. That makes sense of why Otoko became a post-Key conglomerate.
Yeah, because Paul Key was supposed to, no defamation intended, he was intended to be the chef behind Otoko.
Yeah, but quickly, let me preface this with a little story about serving Paul Key. So, I used to be called in to serve the big dogs at Central Standard, and Paul Key was one of them. I was on call. I came in. He is doing lines of Coke in front of everybody on the patio.
Yikes.
And there's fucking Coke everywhere. And I was like,
Coca-Cola.
I gotta deal with this dickhead. Guess what he orders?
Steak frite.
Half of a ribeye.
Ew.
Because we used to do, what's the roast? prime rib.
Half of an order?
So we had this like beautiful, magnificent prime rib. It was $75. It was fucking 2 inches thick. Had like the horseradish crema and the jus, and it was really good. And he's like, I just want half. I just want half of one. And I was like, how about this? Because like I was really sick of his shit. I was like, how about I give you a whole one and you eat half? He's like, well. And I was like, I'm sober right now and you're not. Like, you're insane. And his girlfriend was just like, oh my God. It was such a shit show. I ended up stopped listening to him because it was just like,
I had no idea you had this interaction.
This was my first time interacting with him.
Yikes.
And then the second interaction was us doing a Paul Key pop-up at Water Trade, and he comes in with this teeny little teacup dog, throws it on the bar. And so the dog is stuck on this L-shaped bar running around. And I'm like, oh, fuck you too, dude.
Don't put your fucking dog on the bar.
And then the ramen pop-up was him fucking opening up Tapatio ramen cups, throwing water in it, but then adding a 6-minute egg or whatever. And I was like,
there's some yuzu kosho.
I was like, this is what a burning plane crash looks like. And then 2 weeks later, he's in the news. He got into a fight with his girlfriend. Obviously, they're doing insane amounts of fucking coke. He hit her or whatever, or she hit him. It doesn't matter. What matters
there was an altercation.
Is that the burning Zephyr finally hit the ground, and he had to get out of town. He went to Miami and opened up some fucking gold horse restaurant.
I think it was a unicorn or maybe a Pegasus, like a gold.
Some like,
I forget what it was called.
Miami fucking gold doily. Just a burning money
what
dump.
Was that called?
It had a funny name. Yeah,
it
you're
makes
right.
me so sad because he was obviously very talented.
But then the industry life got him in a chokehold.
Yeah.
Right? Money, fame.
And he had so many, he like rolled deep with so many boys that he was tight with. Like, we go way back, and like, here's my key people, or here's my Uchi people. Like, we all came up together, and like, we started this huge business together. We're all partners. We got so many different branches opening up around town. We've got catering. And so I was catering supervisor for a little while, and the only time I ever interacted with him was like, he came into the commissary to do a test of some recipe, and like, he seemed really antisocial, actually.
So fast forward, I'm partying with Yoshi, which only happened twice because I cannot party like that, and I had no interest in doing it. Yoshi was my sushi chef, and he's like what's that punk alternative fucking rockabilly guy. And I just barely remember standing on the bar at Whistler's with Yoshi, and he and I are just doing the wave.
Hell yeah.
But that whole night we were hanging out with now sober Paul Key, who was very nervous, didn't really want to talk, but wanted to continue to go to place. Yeah. And he brought us to went from Key to Conejo. We went there, and
I ate there. It was awesome.
He like threw $500 worth of food at us, but we're drunk, and we're like, I'm full. Yeah, get another round of teriyaki fish heads with peanut butter sauce. And you're like, okay, yeah, we'll eat more fish heads. So they were actually pretty good.
Dude, hamachi collar. Fuck it up.
I just remember various like body parts of different fish in decorative ways that were delicious. But then
there's no argument, or there's no I forget how you say that phrase, but he was definitely talented food genius. But yeah, the drug.
But then we've never shook hands.
Those are left hands too. Sinister shake. nice to meet you.
day-
I came up with a new. Sorry,
Yeah.
I came up with.
Sinister shake.
What did
Yeah,
I say?
Peanut butter potato chips.
Oh, Ruby was eating a strawberry and there was a hair on it, and I was like, Pam, that's my private investigator name, Harry Strawberry. And then I shook Pam's hand. I was like, nice to meet you, ma'am. Harry Strawberry. Sorry, go on.
I found out we had a Rubbish Cook fan at the birthday party yesterday, and he had to stop himself from fangirling so hard. I was like, dude, if anybody can handle fangirling, it's fucking Rubbish.
There's the dude with Shivani?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
We didn't talk at all.
No, I think he's
He was
shy.
too shy. That's chill.
But I met
Want-
Luke. I want you to know. I
No, you can't say I.
I met Lucas. I got called into work because, okay, to work in a restaurant in Minneapolis, you are a diehard, like there are wait lists to become restaurant staff in Minneapolis because it's such a good gig. Yeah. It was so hard to break into that. So I worked with a bunch of drunks. I'm hungover. I don't want to work the football game. You work it. You go in at 9. It's 9 to 3. I was like, yeah, sure. I'll be there, get there. And that's how I met Lucas. I wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh. Because you had your shit together. You were capable of working.
Yes, I wasn't hungover. I was in my pajamas. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go work from 9 to 6 a.m. Like,
And
whatever.
then Lucas was like, hello.
Yeah, I was like, this guy's really, and there was no other server to pass him off to, because sometimes if you're like, I don't want this fucking table, you deal with them.
Yeah,
and you,
yeah.
like, flick a table back and forth. It was just me, and that is a life-changing moment. Working at South Congress Hotel, life-changing moment. I worked at a bar called the 13th Floor in Baltimore, and I got fucking fired for telling every manager that I was going to be gone this one weekend. And then just nobody ever wrote it down or said anything, or, you know.
And then you didn't show up, and they
And
were
then
like,
you're done. And I was like, I'm your only bartender. And they're like, we'll figure it out.
there's so much like retribution. Like the people who are managers in food and beverage are always the pettiest motherfuckers.
I was like, you serve the Prince of Dubai, and who else did I serve there? Kevin Spacey, and like all. It's like, you do it. Fuck you guys. But I was devastated. We were like preparing to move back in with Lucas's parents, and then I got the job at Woodbury Kitchen, where I met all of my.
Is that the
friends.
James Beard?
Yeah. And like, had I not gotten fired and then scooped up, and so it's almost like the universe is always pulling you into this certain.
Yeah, you have to go with it. Because as long as you keep your eyes open, you just sort of like move forward, and the things will sort of pop up around you.
Whole reason I moved to Austin, my Uncle Tom was like, I had a bunch of these box sets made in Austin. I want to pay you to drive them up. I was like, okay. This was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Never been to Austin, never been to Texas. Flew down here and was like, we went to Home Slice on South Congress before there was anything down there.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this place?
That place
And
is so tight.
Always thought about Austin because we went all over. And that was my clue, my future clue.
Pizza on South Congress.
Just Austin. I was
Yeah.
like, what is
South
that?
Congress used to have like a sort of dinky charm. Like
Well, it
there
was-
seemed something magic about it.
It's where the prostitutes and druggies used to hang out for decades.
But like something about the view of like looking up
yeah.
down that Congress Avenue and seeing the Capitol and all the little buildings and lights and, you know, the river and stuff. It's like, this is kind of cool, man.
I wish that they didn't knock down all those fucking, probably in the 50s they were like, get these old ugly fucking Western town buildings out of here,
Yeah,
build these
for
crappy bullshits. But it was new to them, and I just wish there was like a little bit of that. But there's like no coincidences.
Right.
So many hoops were set up, and I jumped through them, and here I am. And I can't imagine it any other way. And I wonder, are there other instances that would always lead you back no matter what? Would you always ended up here regardless of the path you chose? Or
I don't know. Like, I think back to a conversation that I had with my boss at the bookstore in Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
And I was... Speaking of football, like harshing your mellow, I had to work Saturdays, 8 a.m. to whatever. Just like finding sizes of sweatshirts for families who came in for the game, and I always like bring the fun and the optimism and like try and get morale up all the time. So I would always have a good time, but it just was wearing on me to work this job that I felt like had nothing to do with me. It's like, oh, I'm the sales floor supervisor for the gift and clothing departments. Great. Like, of course I was really good at like getting SKUs for the front end when they didn't, there was no price tag on shit, or like going in the back and finding a size, whatever. But there was just a growing sense of what am I doing and why? So I had a conversation with my boss, who we always had a really good rapport. He was like the big boss. He wasn't somebody who like handed down punishment or did reviews or anything. He was just like a goof. And he would let me like look at the Archie McPhee like accoutrement magazines, like to order all the goofy toy stuff. And so he was like, "What's wrong, kiddo?" And I told him, "My life has no meaning." And he was like, okay.
So did you just literally in the bookstore turn around and go, "My life has no meaning"?
My life has no meaning. What am I doing? And he was like, "Well, what do you like to do?" And I was like, "I like to look at food magazines and go to the grocery store and cook for my friends. And I like to watch food TV." And he was like, "Well, okay, go to culinary school." And I was like, "What is that? What is that? That's something I could do?"
He rang your gong.
He was like, "Yeah, you could do that." And I was like, whoa, I could do that? So then I just did it. I looked up Le Cordon Bleu, and I identified the cities where they were. They weren't in Virginia. So I decided to choose Austin because my friends Josh and Maddie had moved down here because he was really big on music, live music, and like performing. So I was like, Josh and Maddie are down there. I'll go check it out. And I like got rid of all of my belongings and just brought whatever would fit in my 2001 Nissan Altima, and I drove my ass down here. And I haven't left.
Predestination. That's how you met Aaron.
And yes, so culinary school was how I met Aaron, and Aaron is how I met Whitney. And Whitney is how I developed rubbish cook shit. Like I was doing rubbish cook.
That was another thing I was talking.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but I was like, you needed a new computer, or what was the?
Well,
now I remember. Now it slips through my fingers as I try to think about it. But
I developed rubbish cook as like I'm fucking around in the kitchen because I was like very lonely at home because my partner at the time was like struggling very much with like mental health, and I just felt left out and that I was powerless and lonely. And so rubbish cook was like, I'm fucking goofing off in the kitchen. And even back then I had my little Chromebook that would play Bob's Burgers while I was like fiddling around in the kitchen, and I would just like record the stupidest little like weird shit and put it on rubbish cook. And this is when I had like 6 followers. And
it's nice. I remember having like 16. You're like,
yeah,
I can fart and every single one of you wants to fucking smell it. And then there's no nervousness or anxiety, it's just flowing
It's
all
good
the
when
time.
it's a small group.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
close
yeah.
knit.
You don't have to deal about people being like, you're racist. You're like, I just said I like pepperoni.
So, yeah, all that to say, like, you at one point were like, I'll record you. And I was like, what? Like, on camera? Like, we'll make a show? And you were like, yeah, I'll record you. I'd love to record you. And at that point, I was like, let's do this. And I had all these, like, grandiose ideas about what a cooking show should be. And, like,
I do like
always bit off more than I could chew at
puppets,
first.
and
I definitely want to end up having puppets.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
But like the first one was like the zombie apocalypse and how you would
The
cook
zombie
for that.
arm.
And then didn't we do one other apocalypse, or did we just do the one?
That one I poured most of my mojo into because I was like, I learned how to make picadas from Reina, and I was like, oh, let's make lentils and then make up picadas.
Video picadas are like the little bowls, and then you fry them and you fill them with shit. Yeah.
So that was the zombie apocalypse thing, and because it was also like, oh, food resurrection, like resurrect your leftovers in different ways. So yeah, I think apocalyptic kitchen will become a thing someday, but I'm just not at that point yet.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot of work coming in, which is great.
That was a good nap. Yeah.
But yeah, if you hadn't said, like, I'll record you, then so many stages of my life never would have unfolded.
It being rather hard to convince you to buy a new computer. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah. So I was using my HP, I think it was an HP, my Sims machine to edit. Well, at first I was just editing on my phone using that Splice app.
Oh, and then you were doing a big one and it fucking crashed on you?
And the roast beef one, when we were doing spring rolls with roast beef and mashed potatoes in them.
Which is so fucking good.
It was like a big soggy dick.
Stoners, but not a bunch of stoners. But there was something about being able to take mashed potatoes and steak and dip it.
Yeah.
And then eat it. That makes it fucking magical.
I think that would have, like, fucked us up if we had fried them instead of just doing like
Oh, yeah.
instead of just doing like a goopy,
fleshy,
wet dick
it
one.
It was exactly like a limp fucking dick full of fucking food. Which I guess as women we're like, oh yeah, whatever.
69. Eat it up.
But yeah, had we done the fried spring rolls with mashed potatoes and steak,
insane.
Can we revisit that? Because
Absolutely.
that sounds really fucking good.
Absolutely. I just put a question out there into the ether today, like seeing what people want to see me do, to see if that jogs me a little bit in like creation.
Dear YouTube, what do you want to see Rubbish Cook do? I thought I just had one on my brain. But now that we said deep fried mashed potato spring rolls, that's like all I can think about.
And I dare say that I have grown in, I was going to say potency. I think that's true. But also
your sperm count has shot through the roof.
proficiency. You know, I never realized growing up that if you wanted to get good at something, you had to be really bad at it first.
Nobody fucking told me that either. Like, Lucas was like, are you okay? Like, you have to, nobody is born really good.
Yeah, you have to like fucking fail at it. You have to be really bad at it and then realize what you did wrong and then try to do it better and then do it again and then do it again and then do it again. And that has been the biggest lesson of my, 30s, 20s. I don't think I really thought about lessons when I'm in my 20s.
No,
I was just trying to survive.
Are a wash.
But yeah, I think that if we came up with an idea of mashed potato and roast beef.
Summit says this, and this has been requested a lot. Show up at somebody's house and just cook what they have.
I'd love to do that.
We could do that at Paris's house.
Oh, sick.
We could do that at We've got friends. Bree was asking.
We could do Brie.
For some help with some lean meats.
She wants to eat lean protein because she's a bodybuilder.
And turkey is great, but it is fucking dry. Turns out coating it in Asian sauces makes it way more edible.
Yeah, I would, if you're not trying to add fat, you just want to add flavor, you could go Indian, you could go Mexican, you could go any of the Levantine sort of Near East cuisines.
What the fuck is a muff pot? Oh, muff pot?
We don't know what you're talking about
Where's
when
your
you're
muff
saying
pot?
that. Okay, just kind of try and say it in a
pot
way that we can
connects
understand.
to the exhaust of a motorcycle. We're doing it. Hold on. Is that a
It
thing?
cooks?
Do I have to? Is that a thing I have to build?
And then it cooks. We could cook something on an engine.
Oh no, it's a thing. Oh my god. It's
Y'all
a
need
fucking
to-
thing.
Y'all need to buy this. I'm not buying this. Wait, I just had deja vu. Have we ever looked at this before?
Look at that guy's just eating a little
I swear.
bean meal on a... We're gonna do a crossover episode.
All right, let's do a fucking crossover.
Look at that. You
Full
can
can
make
I,
chicken
Bubba?
wings.
Yeah, right.
Look at that. It's got grill marks.
How did it
Those are
get the
shit-
grill marks?
I'm guessing it's just to reheat food.
Yeah. When I was in, I think middle school, I was in
Muff pot.
tech ed, and we built a little
Motorcycle?
solar-powered hot dog cooker. It seems just like that. Like somewhere to like condense the heat, or like, you know, retain the heat and cook the thing. We cooked hot dogs, man. I tell you what, I love hot dogs, and I would cook a bunch of hot dogs up again, using the power of the
I had
sun.
a fucking shitty burger last night, and nothing sucks than a shitty burger.
Ugh. Yeah, because
How do you
burgers can be
fuck up a
so
fucking burger? You just leave it on the grill too long, and then you serve it cold, and then
Ugh. So it was dry and
easy
cold.
tiger.
What the fuck?
And they targeted as like a double patty smash burger, and then I got
Nah.
it. There was a teaspoon of sauce, which is your first fuck up. B, you overcooked it. Second fuck up. And 3, it was
Golly.
cold when I got it.
Did you send it back?
I should have, but I had a screaming newborn, and I regretted going out last night. I was like, this was the dumbest idea, because we had been at the fucking indoor space place
Yeah.
for Ruby's birthday from like 10 a.m. to 3? 2?
That's
I
a
don't
long
know,
ass
but
day.
I was like, yesterday was the most tired I've ever been in my life.
But you called it, because I was like, hey, can you help me with this pad thai for 14? Or like, can I
Oh
add
my God, I am
cocktail?
so
And
glad
you
I
were
said
like,
no.
no,
Oh my
I'm
God,
going to be
I'm
so
so glad I
fucking
said no.
winded. So that was a great call. You know yourself. You know your capabilities.
Oh God.
Yeah, so cooking shit.
Okay, back computer.
Oh yeah, so it was super laggy and like inefficient, and things would crash, and I don't know, it was like the beginning of a new year, and there's always like feelings of a new chapter opening up, or like I'll start a new story, and here's my new story. I'm gonna get a fucking MacBook. I'm gonna go to the mall with Whitney and Ruby and buy a MacBook. And I also bought the earbuds. And
You did at that time?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Life-changing.
that fueled my Shooty Hoops jammer. I miss Shooty Hoops so bad. I gotta go buy a new ball. I gave my old ball to
Because it had
Rubenstein.
a
It had a wonky lump.
A lump.
But yeah, we've done a lot of cool shit, and I know that there's a lot more cool shit to do. I think I don't believe in predestination. I believe that you build what you have.
But how with my circumstances, there is a statistical improbability that adds to it that blows my dick off.
Yeah, for sure. I know what you mean, because like if you weren't even supposed to work that day, And that's where you met your husband.
Why was South Congress Hotel the only person that called me back?
I don't know.
And Aaron working at Otoko is a fucking...
Oh, because he was at Mañana?
He was at
Cafe Nose?
He was at Nose.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the story exactly, but somehow got fucking picked. Look.
Zuzu.
Hi, Poochie Poochie.
You guys can't see it.
Oh!
She's coming. Woo! You gotta smooch the baby.
She's a baby.
Is she hungry? I like how she's looking at me.
Whip it out.
Whip it out. I just gotta get the tip.
Whip it out, Mom. Tay blocker, blocky they tay.
How did we do this last time?
I think
like
that
that.
was up on a
Oh,
chair.
I got it. It's blocked on both now.
There she is. Yeah.
Did you know that they make a pot that you strap to a muffler to cook meals to your exhaust?
No.
I didn't know that either.
I'm trying to eat some carcinogens.
Why are you laughing at me?
She
Why is
laughing
she
at
burping?
you?
She is.
Never mind.
She's a perfect nug. Nuggy.
She's still ready to play.
Oh, Zuzu. Say it to the people. She got such a strong neck. Well, I mean, I feel like my background in religious studies has sort of soured my ideas on predestination.
As they should.
Because you're looking back in hindsight.
The baby is gonna rip ass again. I fucking, dude, real quick. Yesterday I woke up to a fucking cheek slapper.
No.
Yes, her cheeks were flapping, and it woke me up, and I could feel it, and I fucking almost pissed my pants.
She's a masterful farter. Her farts.
Yeah, we pulled up to Ruby's birthday place yesterday, and I picked her up out of the car seat, and she was dripping with poop.
Oh my
To
god.
her neck, almost to her earlobes.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what? All you eat is breast milk.
What's in the breast milk, though?
Dude, I don't know. I went 95% dairy free, and I feel like a different person.
You are a different person. I don't even know you anymore when you don't eat dairy.
Anyways, so
But what
your
I was saying
religious
about
studies-
hindsight
Yes.
is that from the place you are sitting, the path that you have taken to get there seems to be like the illuminated golden path. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like any direction you would have gone, and this sucks because it doesn't sound magical at all.
No, it's fine.
Any path that you would have gone, you would have been like, oh shit, 10 years ago, if I hadn't, sucked that banana, then
I didn't fucking deep throat that tropical fruit. I wouldn't be sitting where I am.
if I didn't put that whole pineapple up my butt, then I wouldn't have this weird abscess in my colon and, had to go to the hospital where I met my husband. You know what I mean? Like, I know that you have faith in the unknown and the unknowable.
No, I know. I like to pontificate, and it is like, if you do have a vibratory essence that I've convinced a lot of people to quit their jobs because they're better than what they're being treated.
You do. I think you have this incredible knack for emboldening people. You remind people of their own power, because you've never, in the years that I've known you, you've never been a stranger to your own power. So it helps you to empower other people to make those big life-changing decisions. And you just go around doing that.
I'm like, hey, you deserve better.
Yeah, and it's a catalyst. You have this catalyst ability.
Look at this look again. Who's this bitch with the milk?
She love you. She wanna know what love is.
Ruby said the eve of her birthday, I was putting her down. Funniest fucking shit. I wrote it down because I was like, this shit's so funny. She's like, I was so excited to be in your belly. And I was like, wait, before you got in my belly or while you were in my belly? And she goes, I don't know. I was like, oh, I was hoping to get some a little bit of insight. And she goes, you've got all the body parts to make a baby. And I was like, I do. How do you know that? She goes, I don't know. You're a mama. She's like, well, and you're pretty smart.
Out of the mouths of babes. Ruby is crazy smart. And she's also like very determined.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
I think
you're
she
fucking
gets,
telling me.
She gets the determination from you.
It's like when somebody asks me, do you discipline? I'm like, okay, let's talk about this real quick. I don't have a normal child. If I discipline her, she starts disciplining me in the same way, and I just get, it's like a mirror. Like she throws it back at me, and I try to explain to her that that's not the relationship we have, that I'm the parent and I am the boss and she is the child. And she goes, no. She's always like, we're equals. And I'm like, no, why am I arguing with somebody who's smarter than me?
Yeah.
And my therapist empathizes with me because she's like, yeah, my 4-year-old was not like that at all. They were,
damn.
Ruby will just dish it back.
Yeah.
And so
she learns incredibly quickly.
The more aggressive the punishment is, the harder I have flipped the switch in a demonic way.
And it makes sense that kids who are like whooped up on will whoop up on other kids. Like they always will sort of take what you're doing because you're modeling the appropriate behavior for them and just do it back out into the world.
Well, it turns out when I turn off my fucking triggered, angry, ass-kicking mom and I say, look, this is happening and this is not socially acceptable because it's part of the rules we made as a civilization collectively. Do you really think anybody else wants to hear you scream? She goes, no. And then she just stops.
Nice.
So it's like,
you have to appeal to her intellect.
Yes. I have to explain to her all of the reasons that have led up to that moment, and then she'll stop.
She needs the information.
She needs the fucking information.
And don't you just like weep for the children who crave information and don't get it?
Yeah, I've seen some like really horrific shit on the internet that
it's so heartbreaking.
Echo in the chambers of my ruminating brain, and they make me ill.
Yeah, because, I don't know, you just remember that all humans have been children, and then you wonder, oh God, what was your childhood like? Yikes. Like people who do heinous things. It just sucks. I don't want kids to suffer, ever. But there's
and then
still
when you
so
find
many.
out that they're suffering, like this body cam police footage I saw, I was like, I've always been against sterilization until this very moment where I witnessed the cruelty that these children have suffered.
By a cop?
It was a cop body cam footage of him breaking into a home because there had been complaints of children screaming, and these kids were thirsty, and they were locked in a room, screaming for juice, and not screaming, but like screaming like they're being murdered because nobody's hearing them.
Oh my God.
And they had been locked in there for days without anything to drink.
Oh.
And they were 1 and then like 18 months or something, or 2.5 and then like 18 months. It was like, and then this woman had just had another baby, and there was like meth pipes everywhere and cockroaches. It is just like, these kids are screaming like they're being murdered because nobody's listening to them.
Yeah. Sorry to make
So
it
I'm
dark,
like,
but that they'll never forget that.
No. And it's like, well, you should maybe lock down the uterus game, because
I have always thought, and I know it's highly controversial, you should have a license to reproduce. And I know that gets into like bodily autonomy and like your right to do what you will with your body and your kids. But if you required some type of certification, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
but-
know it's impossible to.
But unfortunately, you make kids from fucking.
And fucking is awesome.
And so many people just don't. They don't think about.
Well, it's like the way that we're wired. It's never been guaranteed that our kids will survive in the wild. But since we've like mastered the art of surviving, there's just so
We
many
gotta
fucking
switch some
people.
shit. We
We
gotta
need
switch
to
some shit.
alter the rules of reproduction because it's so easy to reproduce. And that's why we just have like, I don't know.
we gotta make
what's
some
our-
like fun Gucci bracelet that you get with it or something. You get this fun Gucci bracelet if you choose to have your uterus removed.
Yeah, man. I think that vasectomies should be more commonplace. You know?
Or offered. Here. Do you
Free
want this?
vasectomies.
Because maybe that meth addict lady would be like, yeah.
No.
Take her to the Lisa Frank farm.
Put her back to work in the Lisa Frank coal mine.
We got a harvest at sweet.
Does she want to go back down again? Alright. We got 15 minutes left. She can wait.
She's so beautiful. Yeah, what? Oh, I brought my notebook just in case we needed.
She brought her notebook.
I started making my new, like, my February thing, and I fucked it up. I have to redo my,
Why?
because it's all wonky, and, like, on this day, I can't even record anything.
You need a spectrograph. What are those fucking...
I have a protractor,
Protractor.
but it's, like, it doesn't get small enough. But I wrote compliance. And then this is February in Greek. But let me go back to MAWPOD.
I love seeing your brain. Oh, by the way, can you explain to the lovely Discordians and our MAWPOD following the fucking cake you made for Ruby?
Oh, the cake that
I need to have a piece of that when this is done.
made. I made Ruby a big donut for a cake.
She wanted a chocolate donut cake with pink frosting, and you fucking nailed it.
Yeah. So, you know The Simpsons and the quintessential pink donut with sprinkles. I wanted to recreate that, but in a cake. So here's my ideas. And I wanted to make a bunch of little petit four cakes that would look like presents, like coming out of the middle of the donut. But then I had all this extra batter from the bundt cake, and I saw that we had like the tiny donut tray, and I was like, fuck it, fill those
Dude,
up, make a bunch of little
cake
donuts.
bites, because I was scooping those fucking chocolate donuts up,
Man,
is perfect.
that recipe was really good. And so I didn't end up making like Jimmy like sprinkles, because we had like the little round ones, so I made a bunch of little round ones, and it just like came out good.
And so
man.
they were cake bites on the big cake, and they had strawberry or lemon or chocolate or vanilla buttercream. So you could just grab these little fucking cake bites, which the kids went wonky for.
Yeah, they were perfectly kid fist sized. And so, yeah, it was just a perfect cake for kids, because it was covered in like all different colors and all different flavors and all these little grabbable
Oh, so
bites.
good. I'm gonna eat some.
And I had like a super busy work week, and I also knew that
You had the busiest fucking work
I'm
week.
so grateful for it, and I'm so grateful to be on the other side of it. Like, we have dumplings and cocktails for 11.
The rice paper thing should be showing up today.
Oh, heard. Yeah, I was gonna inquire about that. You got 1 or 2? Hell yeah, that's amazing. And I have already started to defrost the dumpling wrappers. I'm gonna grab a couple more packs. We're gonna be so fucking ready.
We're gonna be ready to feed people massive amounts of dumplings.
Yeah, so we have a big class tomorrow evening, and then I have roast chicken on Thursday, and then we have brunch for 14 on Saturday, followed by pasta for 9 on Saturday night.
You have a double?
And then I have a double on Sunday too.
Damn.
I want Aaron to come home.
Yeah, you're like, Aaron.
But it's like we sort of factor this in, like him being gone and me lording it over is like factored into, I don't know. It was a great cake. I loved how it came out. And I'm happy that my plan for executing the busy week.
Did you nail it?
Yeah.
You fucking nailed it.
I nailed it. Because last night, pad thai for 14, right after Ruby's birthday. Yeah, defrost dumpling wrappers. I haven't bought pork yet, but I'll get it done today. Yeah, brother.
Somebody inquired about vegan dumplings. Did you respond to them?
Yeah, I did. I think, you know, like fried tofu and how it has kind of a spongy texture? I feel like that in place of the pork with all the regular seasonings plus a little bit more plus Napa cabbage and ginger and garlic. I think that would be really dope. Vegan dumpling. I'm going to do that.
Is she just a solo person or was she, sorry, this is work talk. Like
I think she would come with at least a couple. I responded to her. I don't know that I don't think the booking window is still open, but if she wanted to manually jump in, I would.
I noticed that. I had the ad go until today, but yesterday's the last day to book. But we got a bunch of bookings for other shit anyway, so it was still worth it.
True. And hopefully people will just reach out and I can jam them in there. Personally. Yeah. Everything goes to plan. And then, Studio One. I haven't done anything to prepare for my Valentine's.
Oh shit. That's
Studio
right around
One.
the corner.
It's next Tuesday. But yeah, babe, everything's going well. It's like 70 degrees outside in January.
I know. I was gonna ride to Jake's house, but my registration is still 14 months expired, so...
Dude, nobody will pull you for registration.
Unless you're in Marfa. That's true. It's like, I have been riding with expired registration for eons, clearly, for 14 months.
I see people with tags from 2021.
It's just because that dude went all the way to Marfa. That's the only reason. I had a renter do that, and I just shut my rental shit down, because I was like, I'm not fucking dealing with this. I just spent $600 on new tires.
Oh, wait, he went to Marfa and got a ticket?
He went to Marfa, and a cop threatened to arrest him because the tabs were expired.
Why? Why would that be a
and
reason
I asked
to arrest
the dude,
someone?
he was from Australia. He seemed like a nice guy. I was like, were you being a dick? He was like, no. He was like, we weren't even pulled over. We were getting gas. And he walks by, he said, with a donut in his mouth.
No fucking shit.
He was like, it was like all the fucking American shit I've seen, mate. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, he was eating a donut. And as he had the donut in his mouth, he said, you get back on that bike, I'm going to arrest you.
Fucking
And I was like, yeah.
people who have power who shouldn't have power.
That sucks.
Abuse
You're
of
a fucking
power.
Brand new. It's like, oh, you didn't pay your fucking tax. Fuck you.
Yuck. That's so poopy. So what did the guy do? Just come home?
He said the sheriff parked outside the gas station and was watching them. So he was.
That
rode
motherfucker
bitch
definitely
on his friend's
had
bike.
better things to do.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, he was really upset when he came back from the rental. And I am like, dude, I'm so sorry. But also, if you told me you were riding 1,100 miles on my fucking Fartpillion, I would have denied your ass. It's not a bike to be taken. And I was like, and the tires weren't set up for it. There was about 60% left on them, but not enough to ride in a straight line for that long. Because it is a straight fucking line there. And came back and the tires were absolutely unrideable.
Gee whiz.
So I was pissed, and I was
that
like,
unfolded over the last few weeks?
That was New Year's Day.
Oh, wow.
New Year's Day. Because he's like, is there a place to get inspected out there? And I was like, no. You rode 9 hours to the middle of fucking nowhere. You would have been fine if you just stayed in the city.
Yeah, they would not get you in the city.
No, they wouldn't care.
That sucks. So you're not renting anything right now?
No, fuck no. I've got this dude flying from Ireland for MotoGP. And I was like, you can have my bike. because Jake has 10 bikes, and I was like, dude, can I have one of your bikes to go to MotoGP? And he was
Does
like,
he have
yeah.
a huge garage?
No, it's smaller than mine. And that's what we're filming after this, is like me telling him what the fuck is going on in your goddamn garage. I'm a little concerned. He's got a lot of bikes.
Oh, I'm also excited for a crossover. What are we going to do with the cooker? Put the cooker on your bike and
Put the cooker on my bike.
serve it to Jake.
I want you to be my pillion, babe.
I am that.
I thought we could go through a drive-through and try to hold food together
Yeah.
on the motorcycle.
I do that. I went through a drive-through Burger King
Let's go
on my
to
bike
Dairy
once,
Queen.
my bicycle.
There's this Dairy Queen that I live by that is,
Dude.
it is
What is it called? The Mayfield? I know Mayfield owns it. There's also one up north that's a Mayfield
There was
DQ.
some fucking dude who showed his wiener. He's like one of those guys who likes to
Ugh.
whip out their wieners. And I was like, oh, I wish he would have done that to me. I wish he would have done that
What
to
would
me.
you have done?
I would have fucking punched his raw, naked dick so hard.
Break it.
Because, like, imagine being with your kids and some dude just thinks it's so funny to whip his dick out. I'm like, oh, dude.
Dude,
Whoppa!
chop that shit. Where's my machete?
I also would have just laughed really, really, really fucking hard.
People who reveal themselves to children, you need to be punished.
I worked at a motorcycle coffee shop, and apparently we had this regular. He seemed so regular.
I hate where this is going.
No, nice old guy, like really charismatic. Such a treat to serve. But apparently, when my shift was done, my boss thinks, dude, she was a badass lesbian fucking Norton ride or die. Norton's like a really old school brand of motorcycle.
Yeah.
And she'd always remind us how replaceable we were. Like, she was such a fucking cunt, but like,
Oh, shit.
I loved her at the same time. We called her Lucifer because her name is Lucy too. So
Oh,
this was
wow.
perfect. But she was a gearhead. I loved it. Anyways, she thinks that this guy was trying to get me and show
His dick.
me his weird wiener.
No.
But he got the lady after me, and she was a real bitch. She was the reason I quit. And so there was like it was like an L shape, right? Like, so here's the register pastry case, and then here's where people could sit, but it was awkward because it was like a really intimate place to sit.
Yeah.
And so he sat there and then just like got a boner and just waited for her to see it. And I was like, wait, you're talking about Ted?
Oh,
Fucking
no,
Ted, the
not
nice
Ted.
guy?
He was nice for a reason.
I want to know what's going through somebody's head to be like, they'll like this. Or I guess it's the shock value that they're like
Well, it's like
getting off.
that
They're like,
dude
yeah,
who whipped it out when I
yeah.
was doing shooty hoops.
That made me want to go get my fucking gun. I was like, I'm going to go blast this dude's nutsack off. I'm going to make sure he lives because I'll cauterize the wound as on the way to calling the cops. But
It's like there's some magic about having an organ that, comes out of your body in that way. And like, I don't know. Some people just can't handle the responsibility of having a dick.
I think we should start arresting people's parents too. It's fucking, you fucked up.
I think you'll discover a lot about why people behave the way they behave if you investigate what their parents are like. Although, are there like psycho killers who had really good parents and their brain chemistry is just fucked?
I doubt it.
Doubtful.
I'm sure it's a very minuscule percentage.
Nature and nurture, folks. And be responsible with your dick today. And if you don't have a dick, you have a vagina, or if you have something
Be
cool that's in
responsible with
between,
it.
just be responsible with it. Be kind. Don't force things onto other people. Episode 69 is all about the joy of having a body, not like RAPE or visual RAPE.
That was something I wanted to dig in with you, and I'm sure the internet will go crazy after I say this, but like I've always seen the Andrew Tate, this hyper masculine guy who's amassing all these younger boys as fans because he's like, yeah, she liked it when I raped her and whatever. And I always just look at those guys and I go, really? Your pee-pee's that small? Like, you think... But it's weird. I guess maybe it's like, why is he getting such a huge following? And it's like, well, if you have a bunch of sexually frustrated, vulnerable, impressionable young men, and you're telling them that they can have whatever they want, and
Right.
women who wear makeup,
They're
are
asking
XYZ
for it.
and they're asking for it, they belong in the kitchen, like all this like weird stuff. I just really see...
Well, it's fucked up, but he gives them an outline for life. It's like, here's why everything is the way it is.
an issue of not having culture, right? No
There's
culture.
a void here in your life and your imagination, and I'm gonna fill the void with my gross interpretation of how I think things work. And since there's nothing there, it just sticks. It just takes.
Yeah, it's like, I guarantee you these dudes have zero charismatic father figures. So like father figures who are involved or give them some sort of outlet. They're probably either not around or just there but totally inert, right?
Yeah.
Their dad works the job and does the thing, and then
they're so like exhausted at the end of the day they can't father. Yeah, how do we save...
And how many of them are addicted to porn?
And the porn thing is
Oh god, it's time to shut this shit down. We'll talk about the porn addiction later.
Yeah, sex positivity, but never forcing it on anybody.
They think he has the answers because he's confident about what he says. He's respected. He gets women. He has money, and he has a Bugatti, and therefore he must be right about life. Yeah, I suppose if you've got all the trinkets that everybody
Listen,
pines
boys.
after, look at these little things.
I have a
little dangle in
Bugatti
front of
with
you.
3 bitches in it. Isn't this what you want too? You can get it by raping everyone.
I suppose he's like the prize at the cereal box, but you don't have to buy the cereal or dig. It's just there, and if you follow him, then you get to spread the Red Sea of pussy.
I guess nobody has demonstrated to these boys why it's wrong.
I'm sure, would they care if it's wrong?
Well, if they learned that women are human beings who have autonomy and are hurt by being raped, and you like destroy people's lives by behaving this certain way, there's just no balance. Like, you think, oh, the male perspective, I need to, feed my needs and at anyone's expense. You need to incorporate the other side.
What those boys don't know is if they got the pussy and the Bugatti, they'd still be miserable.
Right. That's not the answer to life. It doesn't give you happiness. You have to start with number 1. You got to cultivate your brain.
But would they know that they're miserable?
No, because I think they would live just a very superficial life.
And then they wouldn't know that they're miserable until they're 10 minutes from death. I was watching your fucking death reel. Death. Ever heard of it? I love it. That was one of my favorite fucking...
When was that?
Our most recent Halloween party.
Oh,
the
nice.
Bone Daddy. Just call me Bone Daddy.
I'm not going to call you Bone Daddy.
Yeah. They know, they just don't care. I think the apathy thing is what really makes that stuff really powerful. And I don't know if you can...
But that's a lack of relating to your fellow man.
I don't... Can you...
That's
can
like...
You, I don't know...
Sociopathic.
Right. I don't know if you can, like, instill that in somebody or make them
Well,
care
it goes back to our lack of community.
Yeah.
We're lacking that level of our existence where we are part of a community.
Product
and
of isolation.
Reciprocity. There's no idea of reciprocity. We're just like super fueled on individualism and our own autonomy.
I agree. Social media makes it more prevalent. It is the pox-laden blanket. Like, it is the thing that can serve things in so many different ways.
It can be very, very, very bad, and it can be very, very, very good. Just like any other tool that we use to socialize. It just depends on who's using it and to what end.
Now it's just on your butt cheek giving you butt cancer.
Don't give me butt cancer.
Don't give me butt cancer.
Don't give me butt cancer.
In their eyes, being themselves didn't work, so be the other guy, because then you'll get laid. Yeah. And have they always been there? Or is this...
So is the need to get laid, is this purely a biological?
Yeah, is it a primordial? Are they unearthing the Viking?
Is this urge? And I wondered this yesterday at the
Conquer
party
stuff.
because one of the babies just hauled off and punched another
yeah.
baby, and I've never seen that happen between like girl babies.
No.
Only some boy babies, and I wonder like, what is that force that just like retaliates?
It's the reason we conquered and decimated so many.
How do you harness it to be good for people? Like that can be a force for good.
I think it's just going to take many years of evolving away from like, oh, okay, we conquered, we're thriving now.
Yeah, like where is the
What's
man who
next?
has all the power but doesn't abuse it?
Alone in a cave in the mountains of India, not fucking with
That doesn't work for
society.
me either.
That's not balanced.
It's not balanced.
It's not balanced. Doesn't work for me either. He's not there yet, but maybe in 2,500 years we'll get him because we've already done the thing. Because coming to America was what 270 some years ago. It's like
so
wasn't-
recent.
It wasn't that long ago, and we were bloodthirsty, and we still are. And I think we're just in the midst of evolutionary chaos.
Also, yeah, I think that our environments have evolved way faster than our brains, our cognition. I don't know if a lot of us can really handle all of the different things going on at once.
Maybe these kids' moms just like didn't love them enough because they're talking about.
Or maybe the mom is under the thumb of the dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe they have submissive moms.
They're examples.
Ooh, I just want to study them. Can we find 10 fucking incels that'll let us like just observe their family ways? Yeah, it's like, did your mom not like love you enough for you to respect women, or was she subservient to the point of a detriment? Or
Well, I think that a lot of
what
women...
president did this? Bill Clinton?
They all do that.
They all
Definitely
do
Bill
this.
Clinton did it. I did not have sexual relations with that woman,
Yes, you did, brother.
Monica Lewinsky. She had
The
sexual
mom
relations
gave them
on me.
everything they want with no rejection. I like some hippie ladies I hang out with don't say no, and I want to tell them so bad that I think that contributes to rape culture. If you don't tell your son no, you're contributing to rape culture. Who the fuck knows, man?
It's all so chaotic, and we're just trying to make sense of what we see, and we see so damn much. We see too much, I think. I think we'd all be happier if we had smaller worlds, but that's not the world we really live in. We live in a really big, diverse, multicultural, tons of different opinions, tons of different intelligences.
And we're here to put a microphone in front of it.
Yeah, we want to look at it and talk about it.
I got to go to Jake's house now.
Oh, yeah, I have to go to my little thing too.
She's got a little thing. I'm going to eat some cake. You're going to watch me eat cake because I know you ate too much of it. When meme? I edit it for him. Dude, I'm just Full Metal and Autistic Toaster Magic. It's just weird reading that.
It's too many syllables.
It's too many syllables. I have the video. I'm going to just fucking send it to you guys. I don't know why he's not posting it. So I'll send it to you.
Get off it,
because I
Jake.
fucking have it, mate. I have it.
Get off it, mate.
Maybe I can just send you the...
Leak it to the day ones.
How can I do it? I'll just put it on Google Drive.
Leak it.
Link it.
Leak it early.
Should I put it on
to
Doodle's
day
Google Drive?
one. Yes. Fuck
What
up
the
every
fuck
time.
is this?
Type Google into
It's
Google.
a meme.
Google, how do I get to
Google.
google.com?
Dude, it is stupid that I have to do that. Go to
Google.
Drive. There's a button that says Go to Drive. All right, guys, you will have meme.
Episode
sent that to him last week.
69.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so very much.
I want to dive more into. Let's do some incel research.
Okay.
We don't have to.
No, it's necessary.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I am just a little bit scared of the...
There's nothing to be afraid of.
That's right.
There's
I'm
nothing to be
exercising
afraid
my
of.
fear demon.
There's nothing to be afraid of. I just think they, they just lack perception,
I just feel
awareness,
like
and empathy.
People who live on the edge like that are so prone to retaliation and vengeance.
No, they're weak.
That's
They're
right.
weak.
They are weak.
It's mothers you should be afraid of.
I feel comfortable and safe around mothers.
Oh yes, and muff pot cooking. I think it'd be fun to do something really fancy on an exhaust.
Beef welly.
Beef Wellington. Beef Wellington. Oh shit, our shit's about to die. Bye guys, thanks.